you'd know by now.
All right.
All right. Let's get
Okay.
this out of my face.
Yep. So
All right.
this was not ordinarily what we were gonna do this week. In fact, we're pretty just gonna take this week off. But today we're here to talk about a $1 Million Arm, which is the new Disney sports movie. It doesn't come out till next week, so this is an early review, which is a rare little gem we get to do every once in a while. We're gonna try to avoid spoilers, although we can't fucking spoil anything.
I managed to score tickets to the advanced screening for us.
So it means we're here in Saratoga.
Yes. So we got to see here. It's about 2 hours long.
Is it 2 hours? Fucking hell.
Yeah, it's about 2 hours long.
A little under, I have to say, because wait, there was no trailer, so yeah, 2 hours.
I have to admit, this is my first time going to an advanced screening. I've never done this before myself.
I think it's the third time we've done it, and my recollection.
All right. So I had no idea there were going to be no previews.
Yeah.
Normally, I go into a movie and I know the previews are going to set the tone.
And
by watching the previews, I get an idea of what to expect in the movie to come here. So with no previews, I went into this movie going, it's about baseball.
Have you not seen the trailer for this?
No, I've totally seen the trailer. I had a basic concept of it, but previews can be surprisingly insightful to what kind of a movie you're about to be subjected to.
I totally, like, problem is the trailer basically tells you the whole fucking movie. I would say we won't spoil anything, but there's nothing we can spoil. If you've ever seen a sports movie ever, I can tell you verbatim how this movie's gonna go.
There's some elements that are not given in the previews.
Not much.
Dinesh's father's mustache is not in the preview.
Okay, fair enough. There is that element. At least not that I saw, anyway. It's been a long time since I've seen the trailer. But it's like, if you've watched any Disney sports movie ever made, like if you saw The Mighty Ducks, you could have predicted the same plot. Or even that weird one with the Jamaicans.
Hey, Cool Runnings is a timeless classic.
That's what it was called. Fuck it, this is Cool Runnings. Now that I think about it, even with the horrible stereotypes, gotta think about it. This is Cool Running too. Or did they make sequels to Cool Running?
I have no idea if they made sequels to Cool Running.
But let's face it.
I desperately hope they didn't.
Let's face it, though.
It's a great movie on its own, and like $1 Million Arm, it does not need a sequel.
No, it does not.
It is a complete story unto itself.
Now, I don't want to get the impression that it's a bad movie. I've seen bad movies. This is not one of them. That being said, it is so generic and so predictable that there's no surprises. There's nothing really to...
Well, and it's a sports movie, Michael. Sports movie. Name a surprising sports movie.
This is why...
Was Moneyball surprising for you?
I actually never saw Moneyball.
How about Invincible?
Didn't see that one either.
Yeah, see, you don't see sports movies.
And yet I can still tell you how they're gonna go. This is
okay.
It's worth knowing this. I'm not a fan of this genre, obviously.
Clearly.
So I don't really go out of my way to see sports movies. This is kind of an exception because I didn't have to pay for this. That's kind of a big part of it.
This last time I score you tickets, jeez.
You invited me.
Exactly. I'm like, man, I got an early screening. You know, Michael would really value this early review.
Oh, don't try to guilt me. Don't be $1 Million Arm.
You never call your mother.
Okay, you know what?
All right.
So basically the movie, like, I was thinking I was joking around with you as we walked out. I was like, I can predict the entire movie storyline based on the musical cues alone. Because that's exactly what happens. Although I kind of laughed when we got the cultural Indian music and then we got transition from that to the cultural American music.
You know, I honestly thought the sound score for this was great.
I know, that transition was weird. No, I actually like the music too. That's what I did like about this movie.
I've seen a lot of sports movies.
I'm sure. Yeah.
I like sports movies. The only sports movies I tend not to love are the ones with the animals.
yeah.
Bud.
That's where you're wrong. This would have greatly benefited from
no.
a chimp. Just ask Joey.
What is it? What was that? There was the baseball movie with the chimp.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was
I don't
called.
remember the name of
I
it,
know
but-
Joey Tribbiani was on it. That's all I remember.
Yes. But anyway, so I like sports movies. Are they predictable? Yes. These are not suspense thrillers. These are not mystery murder dinners, whatever.
Mystery
Or
murder.
murder mystery dinners. They're,
I know there. I don't know. I guess my problem with it is, like, for me, I just need something to cling on to. If I can see where it's going, that takes away the interest for me, because, like, it's everything we've seen before. And I guess if you're okay with that, fine. But for me, it's like, I like the characters fine, but they weren't interesting enough to sustain me. The lessons were too cliche and cheesy, for lack of a better word, for me to get invested into it. It's like,
okay.
like, for me, it's like, if you want to make a good sports movie that's predictable, fine. Make the characters interesting enough so I don't care. That's where I'm going. You're giving me a look of slight condescension
No,
there.
it's fine. These characters, so Disney does this, and they've done this with a number of movies.
Yes, I'm very aware.
Where you're going to take characters who they are the first to succeed at something.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to show their struggle to succeed, and it's going to end in their success.
Mm-hmm. Oh, not before you
You
get
know.
to the fall first, then you get to the high topic.
Okay, so you see their struggles beforehand, but that doesn't interest you, Michael. No. Their minor failures are not enough for you. They need something tragic. You need a man to lose his pitching arm, only to have his brother's arm grafted onto it.
Why is it every time I make a criticism, dear God, you're my mother.
At last he admits it. No, all right.
No, that's like, no, it's not that simple. My point is, like, the characters have to be interesting. I'm not saying they have to have something super dramatic about them, but they have
Okay.
to be compelling. Like, that was, for me, it's like, these felt like pretty much one-dimensional characters played by talented actors, don't get me wrong. But at the same time, the script is so clearly written in a one-dimensional fashion that there's no real layers to any of these characters. I mean, let's take the successful sports movies out there, Rocky, or Cinderella Man, or what was that one that came out? Did Moneyball qualify in any of this? I never saw it. I know it got nominated, but I never saw it.
I saw Moneyball. I saw, boxing movies, which are the first two you get.
The Fighter! The Fighter was a great movie.
It's also a boxing movie.
Clearly they got the genre right. All right, at least they know what they're doing.
So, boxing holds its own element to it. Yes, absolutely. As someone who used to box, I can totally agree with you that boxing movies are better than a lot of sports movies. But that's personal bias.
No, I agree. Well, let's get...
So, yes, they're going to be predictable. The characters had their own struggles. I was impressed with, actually, the way they portrayed the characters in a number of ways. You have... So the two... We're trying to do this without giving away a whole lot.
Okay.
One of the athletes from India who comes over has a struggle with his father.
I liked that. That part I liked.
You notice they never had a scene where the father yells at him and cuts him down, and then he defies his father. Like every damn movie. They broke cliche. I was impressed.
Now, okay, I will give you that. Like, the parts in India, I actually really liked.
Yes.
Like, the parts in India were actually very good, and actually gave me a lot of hope for the movie. But then we got back to America, and it fell back in these old cliches I've seen a million times, and that's where it lost me. Because stuff in India is actually very interesting. Like, it explores the culture, and explores the cities, and the ideas, and I love that. I love that when...
It goes very lightly into the culture.
Like,
really.
on one hand, I kind of wish Raj was here, because I felt like I needed him there for reference. Just so I can lean over and go, is that right? Is that actually how it works?
One of my...
Granted, Raj will probably think, like, dude, I was raised in America, you racist asshole.
Exactly. There are a number of great lines in this movie.
There are that.
And I don't want to give away too many of them, but one of them that I have to go with here is he's, at one point, Skyping with the woman who rents this, like, back bungalow behind his house.
And we all made constant fun of that.
Oh, totally. But no, so he's Skyping with her, and he shows her the view from the roof of where he's staying. And he tells her you have to have the smells to really finish it. She asks him if it smells that bad. And he says sometimes. And sometimes it smells amazing. Like everything here, it's a study in extremes. I thought that was just fantastic at explaining the experience they have in India.
I was like, yeah, I would agree. It's like, so, I mean, I've never been to India, obviously, so I can't really speak for the culture, how accurate it is. That being said, I do like movies that kind of explore that different kind of culture. I like movies that explore that different side of the world that we don't get to see very often. As far as I know, in my limited expertise, India is not a culture that's explored too much outside of Bollywood movies.
Not a whole lot, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, outside of that whole, subgenre.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's like, it's nice to kind of, I love movies that get more into the cultural aspect and explore the world in that sense. So I liked all the scenes in India. In fact, that was my favorite part of the movie, were those parts. I don't want to give the wrong impression. Like I said, it's not a bad movie. It's just horribly cliche.
So, sports movies do tend to follow a standard progression.
Mm-hmm.
They are predictable. Mm-hmm. Like, by definition in the genre, they are predictable. We don't go into a sports movie to expect a third act twist.
Neither do I, however.
You have these two guys who are from India, and they're planning to try out to be Major League Baseball pitchers. Mm. If you, an hour and 35 minutes in, had a random guy come out of nowhere who happens to be from India...
I think you're twisting what I'm getting at here. I know what you're saying, or at least where you think I'm...
You're saying the movie's too predictable.
My point is, I guess I don't want a surprise twist. I don't expect that. I don't want that. Because if you throw one in there, then it's going to feel forced. I don't want that either. Okay. My point is, I want what's in front of me to be compelling enough that I can overlook some of its obvious flaws.
Definitely.
To me, I guess, like, the characters... I just want the characters with a little more depth to them. I'm not saying anything tragic, anything overdramatic, or any surprise twist. I just need to be truly invested in their character, less on the message they're trying to portray and more about the characters. That's my problem with all of these movies. And and that goes for any movie about some serious, like, that's why a lot of the movies about, like, social commentators fail, because they focus more on the message and not on the characters. And that's why they bomb. Like,
so, let me throw it in a different light then. Let me see if I can take it a different angle, because I think I understand it better where you're coming from now. So, the challenge here is your experience has been altered by Hollywood. You come into the movie and expect every movie to entertain, to provoke some form of emotion, depending on the genre of the movie, different and everything. But you expect to be given this vividness. In the case of a sports movie, you should instead go into this thinking of it like you're going to sit down across the table from someone who's been through something, and they're going to tell you about it. This is someone telling you a story. Not necessarily shock and awe entertainment, but they're going to share an experience of how something happened that had never been done before.
I guess I see where you're saying, though. I mean, I get where you're coming from in that regard. Yeah. I do. And maybe it's again, it could be because I'm just not a fan of the genre.
Right.
So,
no,
but that being said, what really, really annoyed me was the whole subplot with, Donald Draper. Whatever the hell his character's name is.
Okay.
Donald Draper, the main guy who played Donald Draper's character in Mad Men. Anyway. I don't know if you watched Mad Men.
Which subplot?
It was the whole, it was the cliche journey of... how he's the hardened businessman, but then he's gonna take a group of these ragtag kids who are so confused by our strange cultural ways. And they're gonna change him. He's gonna become a father figure to these guys, and he's gonna learn how to be a better person and all that shit. We've seen that journey a million times.
We have. It sells. It puts people in seats. That's the honest truth. That's why Hollywood keeps doing it, is people keep going to see it. Now, that being said, I can understand the frustration and the cliche there. Now, at the same time, I have the same situation of your relation to this versus other films with books.
Okay.
If you gave me the opportunity to go read a 300 to 500 page book about the first Indian pitchers, I love baseball. I'm never reading that book.
Okay, explain. Elaborate.
So, when I read I read nigh exclusively fiction. I want to be entertained. I read for escapism. I read for a chance to step out of my own life and bask in a world where things happen that don't happen around here. That's what I read for. So
Okay.
when you give me a chance to read about something spectacular that happened for the first time, if you cannot do it in under 2,000 words, you're going to lose me.
Okay.
But if you can do it through a film, I'll watch it.
So you like it condensed, is what you're saying.
Well, and I like to be told a story. You know, I enjoy sitting across a table from someone and hearing about their life. I enjoy watching a sports film about, the first Indian pitchers, or about you've got Invincible, about the Philadelphia bartender who joins the Eagles. All these things. I'm fascinated watching those things, but I wouldn't be entertained by a book about them. So I can understand where you're coming from if you're not entertained by a movie about them.
Okay.
It's just a difference in views on mediums.
Fair enough. I mean, it actually reminds me a lot. Have you ever watched Barton Fink?
No.
Okay, Barton Fink is a movie about a writer who's playwright who goes to Hollywood to write for movies, and the first task he's given is a wrestler movie. And
Okay.
he's one of those guys who thinks he's making art.
Oh no.
He's one of those writers. So he spends the entire movie trying to figure out what the hell to do, going to 1,000 people. He's told 1,000 times about the formula of wrestling movies at the time. It takes place back in the 80s or 60s or something like that. Either way, older time. And so the exact one was no, this, you gotta do this, you gotta do this. You meet those beats, you're fine. But no, he finally gets a brainstorm. He writes this brilliant masterpiece of wrestling. He says it's gonna be the best thing he's ever written in his life. And the producers take one look at it and go, what the fuck is this crap? We wanted a simple wrestling movie. What the hell is this about him wrestling with his soul? We don't care about this. You're never gonna write for us again, but we're not gonna let you out of contract. So you are trapped here.
Wow.
And by the way, I'm sorry I spoiled the entire Barton Fink, except for the major twist, which is also spoiled in another video I've released in the past.
Excellent. Well done, Michael.
I do my best.
Yes.
Ruining everything except this cliche movie.
Exactly.
But
Other news, it turns out that Samuel L. Jackson is dead the entire movie.
it's also revealed that Samuel L. Jackson is not Lawrence Fishburne.
Nor Bruce Willis.
That relates to the review we're gonna do for Christmas.
Oh boy. All right. So,
I mean, I guess I've spent the majority of the week bashing this movie. I guess I talk about things I did like. Like I said, I did like the cultural explanation. I did like the view. I always like views into other cultures that I don't fully understand.
I felt that all of the parts were well acted.
They were well acted. Like the main lead, Donald Draper. I forget that. It's like Matt Hands or something like that.
Yeah.
It's like I really like his actor. He just has a natural.
JB?
Yeah, JB.
Yeah, okay.
He has a natural charm to him. He's just an insanely likable guy. You can easily see him running any sort of business that he has no idea what he's doing, and I would still buy his product because he's that damn charming.
At the same time, he plays an excellent jerk.
He does, and he's a jerk on Mad Men too. There's really a typecasting thing going on
He
here.
plays a jerk well. I have to wonder if he's a nice guy in real life.
I think he used to work for the porn industry, not starring, but behind the scenes. So
Hey, it's a good industry to work in. There's money there.
there is. It's like, what's that Patton Oswalt thing? It's like it's like a stripper. It's like a comedian is way worse than a stripper. Because let's just say you have a stripper, she flashes your tits, shows your vagina, and you give her money. As well you should. That is money well spent. However, you get a comedian who comes up there and goes, hey guys, let me tell you about my vagina for 30 minutes. And you pay them money. That's insane in comparison. Completely off topic. But
Wow! This is a Disney movie.
fuck
It's a
it.
family-friendly film. The closest to nudity we get is the one scene with the running boyfriend.
Oh, don't forget the girl in the bathroom.
She is fully covered. You get a brief glimpse of some knee.
Hey, you can do a lot with that knee, is all I'm saying.
Oh, man.
All I need is 15 seconds. It's imagination. I'm a sick bastard. Anyway, stop giving me that look. You've said worse things. Why are you judging me?
The camera wasn't on.
Because clearly, I have shown any indication of shame at this point. By the way, sorry for Vampire Academy.
Thank you.
But no, I did like the act. On that night, we had a running joke the entire movie about the female romance.
Yeah, no, alright, so the romance angle of this movie is extremely predictable. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I will give you this. I have seen less predictable storylines in many sports movies. Rocky and Adrian's relationship is less predictable than the relationship in this movie.
Especially in Rocky 4.
Now that being... Oh my God.
I never saw
Really?
I never saw that robot coming, is all I'm saying. I'm just saying, Hollywood, if I can change and you can change, we can all change.
Since when can you change, Michael?
Hey, you didn't know me before last year. I've changed a lot.
For the worse?
It's debatable.
Oh, alright, so...
We can all change.
Exactly. Alright, so... But no, the acting otherwise is pretty good. The characters, in my opinion, they're all very real. They're not extremely deep.
I'm not sure I would say
But-
real necessarily. They all still fit within a stereotype, except maybe the two lead baseball players. I'll give them that. They weren't really
Okay.
stereotypes.
Yeah.
I'll give them that. However, you got the comedic Indian sidekick to Donald Draper, who has his own little emotional speech at the very end of the movie.
I was touched by that speech.
I felt heartless because I'm like, this is the part where I'm supposed to be seriously sad, and all I'm thinking is, wow, this is so cheesy. I still liked it.
Oh, it's cheesy. Have you ever been on sports teams?
I was a bench warmer.
Alright. Did your coach ever give an inspirational speech?
No.
Alright. I've never once in my life, I've been on a few teams, I've never heard an inspirational speech that was not simultaneously incredibly cheesy.
Fair enough.
So, I mean, if you want an inspirational speech that's not cheesy, it's got to be something along the lines of, if you don't win, you're out of the family.
And seriously, I'm the twisted one.
Oh, I'm twisted. I just keep it off camera. Mostly.
Fuck it, you probably only come here to watch to see what random shit I'm gonna say. So far, I haven't gotten any complaints. So either you haven't watched them all the way through, or you're genuinely entertained by this madness. So I have to think it's one or the other. Either way, you know what? Fuck it. Tell me in the comments. Why do you watch these? For all 5 of you. I know it's called my court case later in life, but you know, until that day, I have no fucking shame.
Oh, it's so true.
Oh, stop acting like you're better than me. It's all part of your plan to take over the show. It's like, watch out for this, guys. In future reviews, I'm going to start sneaking little pics of Wes at random intervals. Just so that face from the Amazing Spider-Man 2 review. And we're gonna have Easter eggs where he's gonna pop up in the background. You're not gonna see him. He's gonna be way out there. I'm gonna make it like an Easter egg hunt. Whoever finds all 15 gets a prize. I don't know what yet, but
The best part is when it starts happening without you realizing it. Like, you just say, I make no comment or anything. I just walk past, stare through the back window of your car for like 5 minutes, and then keep walking.
I'm gonna think about the actual reviews I take the time to edit. Then at which point I'll turn around and I'll say, who let you in my house?
Hey, you got windows.
Trust me, those would not work. You haven't really seen my windows, but now I know to set the security alarm before I go to bed at night.
I meant I'd be looking through the window, not climbing through the window. I am not built for climbing through windows. I'm built for hurtling through walls.
You do realize I live on the second floor of my house, right?
That's all right. I get a good running start and a trampoline. Oh, yeah.
I'm just gonna say, I'm gonna see that trampoline, and I'm gonna know, and I'm gonna be ready with the second floor with a fire hose.
There's a trampoline on the sidewalk and on top of my car. That can't be good. My car looks dented. He's already in the house.
Around Christmas. Boom. Is that Santa Claus? No, child. Hide in the closet.
Light a fire. Light a fire.
Daddy's got some hunting. And I apparently have a wife and kid in this scenario. Neither of which is even remotely possible. Currently. Anyway, this got really depressing fast.
Yeah.
I think we're not even fucking talking about the movie anymore.
Christmas.
Yeah, yeah, I kind of brought that one on myself, didn't I?
You set that whole thing up. I was like, trampolines. And you're like, Christmas, family,
well, it was
shotgun. I'm sad.
I'm a very self-destructive individual. It was your mustache and the beard that made me think Santa Claus, Christmas, on the roof. Oh, trampoline, on the roof, Santa Claus. All right, kill Santa Claus.
Man.
Boom, hate Christmas. All right.
I gotta see if I can track down that photo for you.
I think we need to end it here, because clearly we just stopped talking about the fucking movie.
It's true. $1 Million Arm. If you like baseball movies, you will enjoy this one. If you enjoy inspirational Disney sports movies, you will enjoy this one. If you enjoy suspense thrillers, this is probably not your movie.
I sense a condescension in your voice there. I'm just saying there is a way to do sports movies well. They just haven't been done well in a long time.
All right.
The day that happens, I will be there in full support. But until we get less of these cliche crap, okay, crap is a strong word, cliche stuff, I'm not gonna be all for it. So that's just my taste. If you like that stuff, fine, good for you, not for me.
Go write a sports movie.
I'm gonna have him play baseball with his soul. Good night.